The move is the latest in a series of retaliatory measures announced by Mrs. May, who announced in the Commons that Russia is culpable for the attempted murder of former KGB agent Sergei Skripal and his daughter Yulia. She said, "We will suspend all planned high-level bilateral contacts between the United Kingdom and the Russian Federation. This includes revoking the invitation to Foreign Minister Lavrov to pay a reciprocal visit to the UK, and confirm there will be no attendance by ministers or indeed members of the royal family at this summer's World Cup in Russia." Sources had previously said Prince William, who is the president of the Football Association (FA), and other members of the royal family were not planning to attend the event. England was the only national team from the UK to qualify for the World Cup, which will take place from June 14 to July 15, and is still due to compete. Among the measures taken by Mrs. May there is also the expulsion from the country of 23 Russian diplomats identified as undeclared intelligence officers, the Prime Minister added. There is no alternative conclusion, other than that the Russian state was culpable for the attempted murder of Mr. Skripal and his daughter, and for threatening the lives of other British citizens in Salisbury. This represents an unlawful use of force by the Russian state against the United Kingdom. In her speech to the Commons, Mrs. May made clear that it's not in the UK's national interest to break off all dialogue between the United Kingdom and the Russian Federation, but said that in the aftermath of this appalling act against our country, the relationship between Moscow and London can't be the same. Mrs. May also said that Britain would make full use of existing powers to monitor and track those visiting the UK who could be engaged in activity threatening Britain's security. Theresa May announced today that the royal family won't attend the 2018 World Cup in Russia. The measures will include increased checks on private flights, customs and freight traffic. The Prime Minister said, "Russian state assets will be frozen wherever we have evidence that they may be used to threaten the life or property of UK nationals or residents." She added, "Led by the National Crime Agency, we will continue to bring all the capabilities of UK law enforcement to bear against serious criminals and corrupt elites. There is no place for these people, or the money, in our country." Among the measures taken by Mrs. May there is the expulsion from the UK of 23 diplomats. Last week Mrs. May clarified that any measures taken against Russia will not hit law-abiding Russians living in the UK, who will continue to be welcome in the country. Mr. Skripal, 66, and his daughter, 33, remain in a critical condition after they were found slumped on a park bench in Salisbury, Wiltshire, on March 4. Mrs. May had previously said it was highly likely that Russia was responsible for the poisoning. Russia has denied involvement in the nerve agent attack and has threatened to take its own actions to respond to Britain's treatment. Thursday, March 8, 2018. Personnel in hazmat suits secure a tent covering a bench in Salisbury's Maltings shopping centre. Alexander Yakovenko, the Russian ambassador to the UK, has recently confirmed that British diplomats will be expelled from Moscow. He told Sky News, "There will be expulsions. As you understand, in diplomatic practice, there will be answers from the Russian side. In diplomacy, there is always reciprocity.